Hope everybody's well and healthy. Yep, we got through the holidays, eh? Now it's back to the grindstone for some of us. Well, some of you. Yeah, I gotta tell you, I like being retired. Although, it does hinder your spending, especially with the prices going. Yeah. It's kind of starting to limit where I can go and how far I can go and even what I can buy to play with from my layout. But I did wind up ordering some little figures, little N-scale people from the UK. So I don't know if they came over on a boat or an airplane, but it took me a couple of weeks to get them. They're beachgoers. So I'm going to add a beachgoer scene to my river. I'll show you what I'm doing. So I bought some beachgoers. Oh, a couple of guys on some rafts and swimmers, inner tubes, and I'm looking for a spot on my river where I could make a small beach. And I'm not sure where to fit that in just yet. I thought that might be a good spot, but he's fishing over there. And I don't want him swimming around the fishermen, you know. But, I don't know, I'm looking at this area down in here. I could make that beach. I'll have to think about that while I paint my figures up. So these are the figures I'm going to use for my beach scene. They came from Langley Models, and I bought them through eBay, and they were shipped from the UK. So they had to come over the big lake. And I couldn't find anything like this, and I wanted something like this, and this is about all I could find, so I decided to get them. The thing is, I didn't quite pay attention. Let me get these. There you go. You can see here they're not painted. But, and I thought they were going to come painted, but I must have missed it, and that's a bad habit of mine. So I'm going to have to paint them up myself. So that's what I'm going to do next. And figure out where I'm going to put them. And I think they'll probably come out all right. If you remember, I had an ice cream truck with some figures, and I painted them up, and they look pretty good. So we'll see what happens when I get them painted up here. Well, there they are out of the package. Got to tell you, that's a dime right there. So I'm kind of feeling just a little intimidated. I don't know if I can get that on there or not. I wanted to show you how big these things were, and I can't flip it around my fingers. There. Well, some of these I'll probably have to hold when I paint, but the guys that are standing have pegs on the bottom, so I put them in a piece of cardboard thinking I'd be able to hold it better when I paint them. So I don't know what I'm doing here. I am not an artist, and I'm trying to come up with a couple of different flesh tones, and I painted all the people one color, and then I'll add their bathing suits and give them some different color hairdos, and then the rafts, I painted the rafts first, and now I'm trying to put some flesh tones on the people, but I'm not sure how it's coming out yet. But you know, once it's on the layout, you don't see a lot. All you see is the color. It's not like you can have eyes and a mouth on these people. Well, this is where I'm at with these now, and I did try and touch them all up. You can see that lady. A couple of them have hats. Some of them have gray hair. Gotta have the gray hairs, you know. Oh. Then what I did here is I rated my wife's quilting stuff again. And I thought, well, that'll look like, you know, like a blanket or a towel. And I clipped that peg off the bottom of somebody that was standing, and I'm gonna put that in the scene too. I remember I rated my wife's quilting stuff when I did the farm, and I have quilts hanging on the line at the farm. And then when I did the hotel, I rated her quilting stuff to put, you know, the bed covers on all the beds I made for the hotel. So that's kind of on the same order. So that's the McNamara farm, and there, that's part of my wife's stash from her odds and ends in quilting. I made that clothesline with the quilts on it. And then if you remember, if you can see in the windows there in that third window up, I think you can see the bed in there. That's remnants from her quilts. And then that second window up and second window in from the ground floor, I think you can see like a green bed in there. Yeah, you can see the beds. Every room that I have a light in, I wound up using some of her material, if you remember, for the bed. So for the beach, I'm just using a fine buff. So I picked this spot for my beach. I'm just going to put in a small one. And I just used some white Elmer's glue on my previous landscape. And now I'm just pushing this sand into the glue, and then I'll just kind of make a little trail back up to the path there. And you know, everything starts over here, and then you have that bike path and beach path that, you know, goes down into this area. I got to vacuum all of this up after I get done with that, and then put in the people, of course. So I've decided that I'm going to put my people in before I do the waterworks that I got to do, and then put the people in the river. So that's what I'm doing now, is all of these people. Okay, so I have the people on the beach. Now I have to work on this river. And I'm just gonna, put a little silicone in here and kind of rough it up like kids are having fun in the river. And then I'll put my pieces into the silicone. So the silicone I'm going to use is a white lightning, and it's you can, you know, wash your hands if you get it on your hands, and I always do. Okay, I'm just going to dap some silicone in here, if I can get it out of the tube. And then put my pieces in there. Let's see how this works. Yeah, I think that'll work. These things are so small that I can hardly. Yeah, I think I'll put in the rest of those and we'll see what it looks like. Well, I'm putting silicone in. Just, you know, tube silicone, and I think that'll kind of dry like they're playing. I guess we'll see. So I used silicone on the river to fasten the people to the river, and then on the shore, I just used one of these pins to poke a hole, and I put a little super glue on the peg because there was pegs on the bottom of all those people. So a couple of weeks back, I was admiring the fire department's new fire engine, and I just kind of glanced over at the city hall, and I saw Todd, Marie, and Diane walking into the city hall. So I thought, I'm going to go over and see what... So when I stopped to talk to them, Todd, Marie, and Diane were saying that there's nothing to do for the kids in Heartland. And they were going to go into the city hall and see how to get a beach put in down at the river. At least the kids would have something to do down there. They could go swimming. Well, a couple of weeks went by and I saw them chatting out in front of the Heartland Mission. I was heading into the pizza place to get some pizza, so I thought, well, I would ask them how they were doing with their project. They told me that the red tape was about 10 miles long, but they had to go to the state in order to get permission for that beach, and that it was going to go in, and it would be in the paper when the beach was going to open. Well, it looks like any other day in Heartland. But this Saturday they're opening up that beach, and I can already see that there's some people going across the old Heartland Bridge down there. I see a policeman there. I don't know, he must be directing traffic or something. There's another policeman on the other end, and there's even another one up there by the old store. He must be helping to park cars or something. Oh, I see the old Hiawatha's coming in. Wow, must be a big day. That's the opener for the beach. Look at all those people. Looks like they even brought the ice cream truck in. I think that's great. That's awesome. Now the kids have a place where they can go. I gotta tell you, I struggled with putting the little people on my layout. I could paint them okay, but when I started gluing them and using that silicone, especially the super glue, I don't know what it is, but I always get my fingers like, yeah, I could, and then you feel that film on your fingers afterwards because you can't get the glue off. Although I suppose I could dig into my wife's nail polish remover. Well, I think that added to my scene a little bit. I might do a little bit more to the river yet with some silicone. I don't know, fluff it up a little bit more, make some splashes, I don't know. But I think it came all right. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm not the best at this. I figure if there's a scale this big on how good we are, I'm probably like way down here. But main thing is that you have fun with what you do, you know? So I hope it helps you. It shows you a couple of, you know, I mean, I think that worked good with the cardboard, being able to paint those little figures because they're, you know, like that big. Anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. God bless you all and stay safe. It's Minnesota. Winter has come now. Yeah, we're going to look at 7 below in a couple of days, so don't get any frostbite. I'll catch you later.